everyone! Welcome to a new episode of the FSC Radio. This week, we're bringing you part 2 of our conversation with Maria and Ashwin. We'll be talking about the relationships between TAs and professors, about learning while on the job, as well as ending with a little fun Q&A. Hope you enjoy!
So you did have weekly meetings with the professor. Could you ever give some input on how the course was given to him? Or
I gave a bit of my own feedback from the year I took it. For example, there are a lot of different aspects in the course, and it was a bit confusing for me. So I also told him, "Hey, it's very confusing. You should really explain to them well." But I didn't get a lot of feedback from students about how they think the course went. So yeah, I didn't really say, "Hey, students are thinking your lectures are this way," or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It may also be because the students didn't know. I mean, it was a second block in university. Like, how do they know what a good course looks like?
And every course is different as well.
Yeah.
So. Did he ever give you any feedback, or the US TAs in general?
I don't remember, honestly. I think they might have a bit. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I mean, I'm just like trying to figure out like how involved, because I find it interesting the TAs and the professor, what the relationship kind of is. I think it depends on the course, but I feel like with Jake it can be very cooperative and like.
They were pretty hands off, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were there always to give feedback or whatever, and at some point I was very confused about how to grade an exam.
Yeah.
So I emailed them, "This is how I do it. Is this correct?" And they emailed back, "No, you should do it this way." But other than that, I was just free to do my own thing.
Okay.
Honestly.
So you get a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess with the grading, obviously, it gets graded by another TA as well.
Yeah.
But Ashwin, for you, the professor, did he give like a view of how he wanted you to be as TA or whatever, or how he imagined the course being given?
Yeah, again, no, not really.
Not really.
Yeah,
so you had a lot of freedom.
Yeah, it was just it's basically just meet the deadlines. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, how do you figure out like how you wanna, what you wanna be like as TA, like what you wanna do in a class?
I kind of just think about how I would like to be taught.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So mostly just actually talk to the students and actually like go through a couple of those problems and go through them like step by step. So nobody's really missing out on like you don't want to do that stuff where a couple of professors they'll just be zooming past some steps and like somebody won't be familiar with it because they didn't take some course. So might as well just do everything.
Yeah, okay. So you just looked at what you like, how you like to be given a course, and then you kind of applied that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have any fun experiences with students who don't understand stuff, or like they understand way too much and you're like, oh shit? Or
yeah, I had no, there was this one student. I think it was we were learning about like Taylor series, and then somehow we started talking about like Lie groups and like group theory. I have no idea how he brought it into the conversation. But like, he was going on and on about that. And then it was like, 45 minutes after class? And he was still talking about it. And eventually, I just told him, I got to go. That was it.
Okay. Yeah, did you ever, like, I think this is something we discussed before as well, Ludi, where you learn something while you're grading?
Yeah, well, I can't say that I learned it while I was grading, but like you get all the concepts and you have it in your head as a sort of vague idea. And then when you apply the grading scheme like over and over and you try to explain stuff to students, then suddenly you're like, oh, this is how this works. Like, you know, that it clicks.
I have that a lot, actually. Yeah, I think, just with this, like when I about the complex analysis course, I was going through some stuff because I would have to prepare from beforehand. Like there was a fair bunch of stuff I didn't understand from complex analysis. Yeah. And I had to go back and I had to really think about, like, how would you teach this? And only then did, like, most of the concepts really kind of click with you.
Yeah, but I also, like, teaching is the best way to learn.
Yeah,
Because if you need to explain it, you need to understand it. So I guess that's natural. Let's see.
Do you have any fun student
Yeah, do
stories?
you have any fun stories, Maria?
At some point, I was explaining like the celestial sphere and how the Earth turns and how the stars turn with that, and it's very confusing. You have to think not even 3D, you have to think 4D, and
everything moves. It's so annoying.
so confusing. And in my first class, I tried to draw it on the board, and I was confused myself, and my drawing didn't make any sense. And we spent like 20 minutes just like, how does this work? So in my second group, I thought about it. I need something like an actual object in 3D to show it to them. So while they were working on their assignment, I left in the building and I started searching for like a sphere or something to use. And I think they were handing out diplomas.
Nice.
And they had like a balloon arch. And I walked up to them and explained, "Hi, I'm a TA and I'm explaining something with circles. Can I please borrow a balloon?" And
That's
they were so
amazing.
confused, and they were, I don't know, I have to go ask. And they left and came back. Yes, you can have a balloon. Okay, thank you. And I went back and with the whiteboard marker drew like all kinds of coordinates on it. And I tried to explain it with this balloon. Everyone was so confused, and it didn't even work.
Oh, that's depressing. You have this whole teaching innovation, and then
Yeah, no, it didn't
No
work.
results.
It didn't work.
So did you ever have a moment where you're explaining something and then you realize at that moment, like, oh, I've got it wrong this whole time?
Oh, definitely, all the time.
Really? And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I would say, I'm sorry, ignore all of that I just said, starting again.
that's very, very relatable.
Okay.
What do you think, like, as a student? Yeah, you guys still have like courses, right? Yeah. So if you're a student and a TA is like, actually, I just misexplained all of that. Like, how do you feel about that?
Wait, when a professor does that.
When a professor or your TA, like the TA that's TAing you.
Oh, honestly, after being a TA myself, like I completely understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
it makes a lot of sense because, like, sometimes you're just not in your element. So
Yeah.
I think it depends for me. Like, depends on how much I've written down. Like, if I've written down like a whole page of equations and I'm like, wait, no, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Starting
that's-
over,
yeah,
then I'm annoyed.
that
But other than
must
that, I
suck.
mean, it was always fine.
Yeah. So the next question kind of ties into that. After you were a TA, did you kind of reflect on how you behave as a student? And did it change maybe the way you view tutorials or something?
I got less annoyed about how long it takes to grade something.
Yes.
Okay.
I never ask about when's the grade coming anymore
Right.
because honestly, it's a disaster. It's so much work. So I just leave them be now.
Just a question for right now. Do you guys? Oh no, you're not actually TAing at this moment, right?
No.
Okay. I was like, oh, a candid question. How much assignments do you still have to grade right now? But if you're not TAing, then
I think the honest answer would probably be all of them still, all the time, every day, all of
Yeah.
them.
and if it's not those for this week, it's those for last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you? Did it change you in any way?
honestly, yeah, pretty much the same way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I never really asked for grades like early beforehand. I was always the type of guy to never really talk about it. But yeah, I started asking less questions actually.
Oh,
I
what
don't
kind
know.
of questions?
Yeah, like like the small type of questions where like, oh, is this right? And then, like those very small confirmation questions. I stopped doing those.
Why? Because they're annoying, or?
Honestly, yes, I find them a little annoying. But well, like if a student really needs to know. Like,
Yeah,
I
but what do
tell
you then do with that question? You just first look it up in a book or something?
them.
Like if you have a confirmation question but you don't ask it, how do you get the confirmation?
Okay, maybe I should clarify. As in like confirmation, as in like, when like they start talking about something else, like you're focusing on one subject, and then they'll like try to relate it to like a completely wildly different subject. Yeah, so that's the type of stuff I mean. Like I kind of tried to stop doing that because I feel like
Right. Okay.
yeah, it gets a bit off topic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like a digression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But was TAing what you guys expected?
Uh, yeah, I guess. Being online, there wasn't really much to expect.
Right.
So yeah, it was what I expected.
Mhm.
It's kind of a boring answer.
But there was nothing that like surprised you.
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
How
don't
about
know.
you?
I don't think it was what I expected. I think I went into it thinking, oh, all my TAs, they always knew what they were doing, what they were talking about. And then I went into it basically unsure of everything.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I realized that that's very normal for TAs. I think that they just went into it and go like, I don't know, if I don't know something, I'll ask or Google it.
You realized that because it was your experience, or because
Yeah.
other TAs also had that experience?
I realized that because I
your-
was in it, and
Right.
I don't think I was very different than any other
Ah,
TAs.
right.
I acted the same, I think, which shows that we're all people.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Do you guys feel like teachers already, or maybe not already? I don't know what your further career plans are, but do you feel like a teacher, or do you really feel like a teaching assistant?
Yeah, I feel like an assistant. Definitely.
What do you think is the difference?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not giving like actual 45-minute lectures really. Maybe it's just yeah, you're just there to help them. I guess that's what I see as
Yeah.
an assistant.
Mhm.
I think I found a hidden passion for not teaching, but science communication.
Oh, really?
After that, I applied for a job doing exactly that. It's called at the Mobiel Planetarium. So it's mainly I give like science presentation about astronomy to children. And during my TAing, I discovered, wait, I actually kind of like telling people about, the universe and whatever. And I am looking, I want to do more of that. So I got this job, and now I want to teach people from my high school and people at home. I just want to show them, how cool science is. I think I discovered that passion a bit.
Are the kids better students than the students here?
They ask less difficult questions, that's for sure. But no, I think teaching children, like actual, like 5 to 12-year-olds, is way harder than
Yeah.
teaching students.
I can imagine.
I noticed that especially this year, I follow one like science course, and we're all so quiet, and everyone listens to the TA, and we're all just writing down exactly what she says. While children, don't care. They can give a shit about the teacher. They can scream through you. While students are very
Well behaved.
well-behaved
Yeah.
students, yeah.
Even if they sometimes write rude emails, but apart from that,
You've had that? People writing rude emails?
well, I don't know. Sometimes when people try to push their grade a bit and they go a bit too well, they don't go too far. Like they're not like actually rude, but when you get like 5 emails about the same assignment, when you've already said no, we really can't improve your grade, then yeah, that's a bit pushy. But it's not screaming through your lecture, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So will you, this is a side question, you don't need to include it necessarily, but will you apply for the minor course for students that are outside of astronomy? They have like the minor for people who don't do astronomy. They're
Oh,
looking
yeah.
for TAs for that.
I might. There is a course teaching astronomy to non-astronomy
Yeah,
people.
that's it.
But I might, depends on whether this one professor who's on vacation will reply to my email or whether I have the job or not.
So
Right.
you said that you discovered like a passion for science communication. So do you feel like TAing helped you, like prepared you for your career after?
Definitely, yeah. I don't know how much I will do of science communication in the future. I don't think I want to have that as my job, but I think it's vital for any scientists to know how to convey what you're researching to the public. And I
That's
think
really important.
many scientists don't know how to do that. But yeah, it definitely does. It teaches you how to tailor what you know to who you're telling it to, because the student doesn't know what you're talking about when you teach them whatever. So, and not everyone like really processes that when teaching something. And a lot of TAs or professors, they think everyone knows what they know.
Yeah, and also that they have the same kind of vocabulary or understanding, or like if you say the same thing to like 70 different students, not all of them will get what you mean.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes they just assume that you know what they're saying when, that might not be the case.
Or have the same way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because the same explanation doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah, actually, that ties into a question we kind of forgot. Did you notice like that we have, it's an international university. We have a lot of international students. Did you notice any difference there? Like, was there any not necessarily problems, but
I've noticed this as a student myself, but also as a TA, that the Dutch curriculum from high school is very, one, project-based and two, independent. Like in high school, it's not weird to get a project or assignment and be like, hey, go do this and I'll see you in 2 weeks when you finished it. While other countries are way more memorization, way more repeat what the teacher did, way more hand holding.
And how about you, Ashwin? I know you're from Canada, right?
Yeah, born in India, lived in Canada most of my life. Yeah, actually, I agree like 100% with what you just said. It's mostly just because, like, for example, like me and you, we took IB, right? So a lot of students who take IB, they already know how to write like lab reports and stuff like that. Like they know the whole structure on how to write a report, like what to include in your data analysis. And then now if you have like some other students from like another complete different part of the world, they haven't taken IB, so they don't really know how to write a report. They don't know what to include already beforehand. And yeah, in a way, again, like because of the Dutch curriculum, a lot of professors, at least from Physics Lab 1, they assume that you know like a basic structure on how to write a report. So yeah, pretty much. At the end of the day, I'm just saying what she's saying.
Yeah, but like, is it difficult because you don't know the basic knowledge that people have, and then you kind of discover, wait, they don't know how to do this?
Yeah,
and then you need to explain it to them. Is that?
Yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier as well. It's like I try to just go through absolutely everything.
Like like you assume nobody knows anything, basically.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, okay.
So not, because that's always something that annoyed me during like my mathematics courses. Then they're like, "Oh, this part is trivial," and then I was always like, maybe it's trivial, but I'm very insecure about my math, so help."
Especially when they're like referring to like 20 different theorems in like all these different places.
Yeah. I feel like calculus just has a Bible with like the background information that you need to know, which I don't know. Or like, I
consider Stuart to be the calculus Bible.
I mean, it has the size of it. Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about how TAing prepared you, or maybe you feel like is now preparing you for your future career?
Yeah, again, same thing as what she said.
Okay.
It's mostly, just like communicating how to actually get the scientific idea across. I think it's really useful in that. Because, like, you might understand something, but you don't know how to explain it. And I think explaining it is probably the most important part.
Yeah.
Do you feel cooler now that you've TA'd?
No, not really.
Okay.
Do you feel cooler?
Yes, I feel immensely much cooler. yeah, you know, when you see like people from the second year or first year, I'd be like, hey,
TA,
I
yeah.
taught you, I gave you grades. I don't know. I feel cool because I did that.
So the power goes to your head a little bit.
Maybe, maybe I will never admit.
Okay. Okay. So, what would you tell someone who's interested in becoming a TA?
Just email the professor.
Okay, very practical advice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I didn't realize how easy it is to get this job, or
Well, I think that it depends on your course, and also you have very high grades in general, right? So
sure, but I went into university thinking you have to be amazing at everything, and that professors are like godlike creatures. You don't come near them. You don't ask them anything.
don't look them in the eye.
But for any TA job or, for example, for a research project or anything, you can just come up to them and ask them, hey, I'm this person. Do you have time or a job for me? And I didn't realize that. And I think people should know that you can ask, like, if you want to do extra things, you can.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think also a lot of people need to like realize that like other TAs are also just other students.
Yeah.
So yeah, like again, like just with like small stuff, like you're handing in an assignment. If it's super messy, like it's another student who's going to be reading that.
Yeah.
It's like if you can't be bothered to read your own work, then like if you can't read it, then like stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say about TAing or whatever?
It's fun. Yeah.
It's fun. Okay.
If you like, if people are considering, I don't know if I'm too stupid for it or whatever, just try.
Yeah.
You might suck, but everyone has had a bad TA at some point and it didn't ruin your life.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
And the first time you stand in front of a classroom, like the first time I was like teaching someone in a real classroom, I tried to like speak to the group and I just couldn't say anything because I was too scared. So then I don't know, I just went to students individually and I was like, oh, how's it going? I'm your TA. So yeah, the initial fear, like that was pretty high for me, but you get over it. So
and it sounds like it's a good experience to have as a person, like for your character growth or whatever.
You definitely get less
yeah.
scared
Yeah.
about professors and other students.
Yeah. And I feel like it puts the whole university setting more in perspective because you see both sides of it.
Yeah, you get a better view of
How it works.
that it's a system that may have faults in some places, but generally it works. You know, it's not out to get you or whatever.
No. And also, it kind of codependent on the students, right?
What do you mean?
Well, because they ask students to become teachers very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready for the fun questions?
Sure.
It's quite an abrupt
Transition.
So, the hardest part is over, but we still have some problems to discuss. For example, would you rather have students with the handwriting of a toddler or have students that always have something to say about their grading? Basically, they're all Karens.
Wait, so it's handwriting versus grades.
Yes. So what you just said about like when you hand in work and you can't even read it yourself. Basically, every student you have has the handwriting of a toddler. Or every time you grade them, they're like, hey, what the fuck did you do? Give me a better grade, you bitch. I don't know.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, it's actually. I would go with. Okay, terrible handwriting just means you just can't do your job. So.
Or it's
Or
gonna
with
take
a lot
hours.
of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the grading.
Yeah, me too. I think at some point you can just go to your professor and be like, hey, this is not working. You
Right.
grade them, please.
But what if the professor is like, well, this is your job?
Cry.
Okay.
Just ignore all the emails.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well do that. Just forward them to the professor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one. Would you rather only be able to whisper when you teach, or everything you say in class is always audible to the professor? So if you say something stupid, then they will know.
Oh, so your mic is always on, not
Yeah,
not
and
muted.
always like broadcasting to the
Into
brain of your
his head.
professor.
Yeah. When you're in the classroom.
When you're saying, I
Yeah,
don't
okay, I'm
understand this
gonna-
assignment either.
So you also can't like badmouth your professor. I'm not saying you guys do that, but
We would never.
oh, never.
But what was the first option?
Only respect for my professors.
Oh,
Only whisper when you teach.
I think the second one, without a doubt.
so it's like, hello, my name is Maria.
No, ASMR.
Oh,
I
sorry.
hate ASMR.
Sorry.
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I go for the whisper as well.
But then your voice is ruined after like a whole hour, and you can't say anything in front of the class.
No, I would go for broadcasted into the head of the
Oh.
professor
Okay.
because I don't think I say that much stupid shit.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
And if I do,
says something
You guys
about
are
your
very
confidence.
confident.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is a bit different. Would you rather instantly smell like fermented blue cheese when you walk into the classroom, or have students with very stinky armpits so all of them are afraid to raise their hands?
How exactly does fermented blue cheese smell like?
Terrible. like molded wet socks, basically.
but you only smell like that in the classroom.
Yes, so you walk in and instantly you like
Everyone
And
gets
you can't-
radiate.
And you
a
can't say
Wait,
it's
but-
online.
But if you walk out,
then
Then
it's
it's- then you're-
then it's gone. But you need to stay inside to
that'd
teach.
be kind of cool. I would like show my students.
Yeah, and then they're like,
like a
okay,
party
we
trick."
want a new TA, thank you.
So blue cheese or
Like, okay, basically it's like, or you smell terrible, or all the students have terribly smelling armpits. So they're like, they smell and they don't want to lift their arms.
can I wear a mask?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I guess. But I mean, they smell each other as well. So then
That's their problem.
okay.
Who cares about their comfort? No.
But what if nobody wants to raise their hands anymore?
I mean, to be fair, nobody really asks questions anyway.
Oh, okay.
So
But this is actually not a good question for you because you teach online, right?
true. But
Yeah.
the blackboard thing.
True. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So you want fermented cheese?
No, I would go for
Oh,
the
stinky
student
arm.
smells. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so would you rather teach in rollerblades, but you're also blind? Or would you rather have to sing everything that you say?
Rollerblades. Please
But-
give me the
but you're
But you're
rollerblades.
blind.
Forever or only in the
No,
classroom?
In the classroom.
Rollerblades. I'm not gonna sing. I would
you're
rather
blind.
die.
You're blind.
You're blind.
How will you help the students if you're blind?
And you're on rollerblades, so you'll just fall every second.
But they'll just go up to me.
Wait, but they can't move your hands and stuff. You know, because you're blind. So
Would you wanna sing?
yeah, I mean, obviously, I take it over the rollerblades and being blind.
Just give them like an informative rap or something. I don't know.
That's science communication, right?
Yeah, science communication, Maria.
I'm not in a creative study.
Okay, fair enough.
So singing versus blind and rollerblading.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Would you rather that the professor is able to read your mind in meetings, or you are only able to say 10 words in total in the meeting?
Yeah, I'd say 10 words.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's how much I say anyways.
Right. I didn't take that into account.
Okay, so if someone offered you a deal where you would get €1 million if every one of your students passes the course, but for everyone that doesn't pass, yeah, your life expectancy goes down by 5 years, then would you take it?
Yes.
Oh, you're
Yes.
very confident.
Yes. I mean, my life expectancy probably isn't that long anyway, so it's
Yeah, but if
Then you
if
don't
they
want
all
to
fail the course-
shorten it, right?
yeah, but okay. It depends on which course you're teaching as well, doesn't it? Like if you're teaching like electricity and magnetism, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm taking that.
If you teach intro to astronomy, almost everyone passes. So give me that chance, please.
Okay, so what if you have an average course? Where like, I
What,
don't know,
what would be an
80%
average
pass?
course? In
I would say electricity and magnetism is a average course, or mechanics and relativity, or whatever. Thermal, those are average courses,
But then,
right?
okay, so you have 3 students who don't pass the course. Your life expectancy goes down by 15 years. Do you want to take that gamble? What
Okay,
if you
what do you mean by my students? As in like
the students you teach?
Oh, okay.
So what if you happen to have a group of like very unmotivated, terrible students?
Then you tell them, no, I'm dying.
You pressure them.
You have to study.
Maybe that's a good technique to get people to pass the course.
This feels a bit Squid Gamey.
I
Very on
might or
topic,
might
guys.
not have wrote this question afterwards. After watching it, no, I didn't.
This is a tough question. I think I might pass and earn the $1 million through hard work and
Oh
dedication.
wow, how
Yes.
inspiring!
I know.
Yeah, I would take it.
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
Okay.
Well, that were the difficult questions.
Yes.
That's it. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of our podcast. And thank you so much to Maria and Ashwin for being such good people to interview for our first couple of episodes. We'll see you next week with hopefully just as good an interview as this one. Bye.